Hey, advanced kiddos, got a quick lesson for you on the powers of the president. We have to wrap up the executive branch as quickly as we can. We are going to do a summative project, but I don't want to leave out why the executive branch is so important in the power of the president and how we can check him as a legislative branch and as citizens. So here we go. Go to page 27 of your notebooks. If this is too fast, pause the video and get this down. Be quick, be brief. Here it goes. The first thing, title, Powers of the President, page 27. The first word you got to know is clemency. What is clemency? Clemency is a mechanism that the U.S. government, specifically the president, has to relieve people convicted of a crime for a court-ordered sentence. There are two types of this, pardon and commutation. Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, some rappers, actually were beneficiaries of clemency by President Trump just before he was removed from office. So President Trump gave clemency to these two individuals, and one of them was for some weird stuff with kids that I won't talk about in school. Anyways, pardon. What is a pardon? Pardon means excuse me. It's excusing a person of a crime. Another power of the president in clemency is commutation. Commutation means to reduce a person's sentence. So if they were in jail for a 5-year term and they only served 2 years, the president can say, oh, that's enough, and the person goes scot-free. President has other powers. We know about veto power, the power to reject a bill or a law, but one that we haven't talked about yet is reprieve. Reprieve means to postpone a person's sentence. Why would a president do this? A president might do this because there might be some useful information that may clear somebody who's convicted of a crime, all right before they go to jail for 10, 20 years or something. So the president can postpone a person's sentence. Another thing that a president can do is issue executive orders. One of the most famous executive orders issued was by FDR, Executive Order 9066. And that imprisoned Japanese Americans back in 1942 after the attack on Pearl Harbor. People who have lived in America their entire life in California and other parts of the Western United States were moved to basically concentration camps and caged so that they wouldn't be a threat to the country. So an executive order, by definition, is a directive issued by the president that has the same power as a federal law. Yes, these can be declared unconstitutional, but it must go through the courts and it's a long process. So basically, it's a law that the president can make on the spot. All right, there's 5 duties of the president. These are essentially names, other names of the president in the United States: commander-in-chief, chief executive, chief of state, chief legislator, and chief of party. Commander-in-chief, easy to know. This is leader of the military, okay? Simple as that. He's in charge of all the branches from the Coast Guard all the way to the Army, Air Force, Navy, and the Marines. The chief executive, this means that he's the manager of a country of all employees in the executive branch. Remember, the executive branch is the biggest branch of government that we have. And think CEO here. They're the leader of a business. Chief of state, this is the ceremonial leader of the country or government. So when we give a State of the Union address, I think of who's giving that. It's the president all the time. Chief legislator, the president's job is to lead the country, guide the country in lawmaking. So we have Joe Biden, who's going to open up the country more to immigration. He's going to deal with COVID-19. So what have we seen? We've seen laws to help limit, I should say, reduce the limits of immigration and get people in the country, and also to deal with COVID. Chief of party, this is the leader of the political party, So Biden's a Democrat. He's the leader of the Democrats. All right, wanted to comment quickly on impeachment. There have been 4 presidents in history, write this down, that would have or did suffer from impeachment charges. President Andrew Johnson back after the Civil War, Richard Nixon in the 70s. He did not officially be impeached. He actually resigned before he faced impeachment charges. And then we have Bill Clinton, Naughty Bill, cheating on his wife with a White House intern, and then Donald Trump twice for misuse and abuse of power. So write down the definition of impeach. It means to accuse an official of misuse of power or abuse of power. The process is simple. You know this already. I just want to make sure it's driven in to your skulls. The first is the House, and then the Senate, and then conviction, which has never happened. But it's a 2-step process. The House conducts an impeachment inquiry, basically a study of what charges the president or the official can be brought up on. So after the study is done, if they've found enough evidence, they do a vote. And all you need is a simple majority. That means 1 more than half of the House members, 435 of them, agree that the president is guilty of the crime.